Canada just updated its list of designated terrorist organizations to include 3 ideologically motivated violent extremist groups. Ones that are pretty darkly disturbing, so feel free to skip this video if you're not feeling it today. The newly listed groups include 764, the Maniac Murder Cult, and the Terrorgram Collective. 764 is seriously distressing because most of the time they're kids targeting other kids. Sometimes they're victimized kids targeting other kids. It's a decentralized network of online nihilistic violent extremists whose core beliefs are hatred of humanity and rejection of all religious, moral, and social values. According to the government's description from the listing, quote, members routinely use various social media and gaming platforms, particularly those with young and marginalized user bases, to lure, groom, and extort youth to commit violent and sexual acts, including self-harm. It becomes a twisted clout-chasing game where youth jockey for points, hurting themselves, family members, and pets. Here are some resources you can contact if you're stuck in one of these spaces. Maniac Murder Cult is a militant accelerationist group that adheres to neo-Nazi ideology and believes that there needs to be violent, nihilistic actions to promote fear and chaos so we can rush towards a collapse of society. The group operates online but mobilizes offline violence towards racial and ethnic minorities, as well as the Jewish community, folks experiencing homelessness or mental health issues, or anyone else they deem as, quote, undesirables. As for Terrorgram, it's a network of white supremacist channels, group chats, and users on the platform Telegram. The network publishes terrorist guides and white supremacist propaganda dedicated to motivating mass killings. So those are the 3 groups, along with a 4th, an ISIS affiliate, that were just added to this list of Canada's designated terrorist entities. And it has serious implications for their members, including their property being frozen and the fact that they can't use banks now, to name a few. I reached out to 2 experts about this development, and while both Stephanie Carvin, an extremism expert and former CSIS analyst, and Peter Smith, an independent researcher covering global extremism, agreed that there are good reasons to list these 3 groups, they both had concerns. Peter told me that, quote, we always have to be careful about how we empower law enforcement action, especially when it comes to dealing with young people. Meanwhile, Steph told me that she has concerns about, quote, the government's approach to listing overall. She said that there are, quote, increasingly questions about the government's methodology when it comes to the listings process. Quote, earlier this year, the government listed drug gangs, something we've never seen before, and it's not clear on what grounds. It seems to reflect the Trump administration's increasingly kinetic approach to countering narcotics rather than the traditional criteria upon which groups have been listed. So even if I believe there are reasons to list the 4 organizations presented today, more transparency and review around the listings process is needed. And I do just want to say that while listing is one tool, mitigating these harms and threats is something that we should put at the forefront. There are resources available to get out of these spaces. Here are a few that you can look up. What do you think of all this?